7:36, time to zero in on business. Our business editor, Mike Eppel, joining us this morning. Mike, oil touching a multi-month low this morning.
Yep, back below $45 a barrel for the WTI contract price, Ted, and the Brent crude price, the international benchmark out of the Eurozone, down below $50 a barrel. Just no respite in the selling. Yesterday, the U.S. inventories report might have given some uptrend to the market. Didn't happen, though. Even as inventories fell 4 million barrels over the past week in the States, what's happened is that refineries have actually kept pace. There's more gasoline already refined, so not as much demand for oil in the near term. So more price pressure on the benchmark crude futures contracts. These numbers borne out in the latest earnings in from Canadian Natural Resources, a loss of about $400 million in the latest quarter for CNQ. They've cut their capital expenditures as well, and they say that their earnings were also hit by some changes to the corporate tax rate in Alberta recently, so that's something to watch for the energy majors. And WestJet, you mentioned the vote against unionization for the pilots. That number, or that result, coming in after the close of trade last night at the TSX, and we are seeing WestJet stock in the early trading activity up already by about 65 cents at $23.75 per share. WestJet in this morning with passenger numbers for the month of July, capacity up by 5%, and the percentage of seats filled just shy of 83%. Barrick Gold, much like the energy companies, the gold companies have just had a dismal 2015 as the price for the precious metal has plunged to below $1,100 an ounce, a 6-year low, and this is showing up in the earnings for Barrick, which lost money. They're cutting their dividends 60% down to just 2 cents per share. They weren't exactly paying much to begin with, but at the same time they're looking to sell some U.S. assets, non-core, basically to conserve some cash. A coffee spit-take this morning for investors in Keurig Green Mountain, the maker of those K-Pod coffee cup, single-serve coffee usage, basically. The earnings didn't come in as high as expected, and the shares are down at the opening of trade on Wall Street this morning by as much as 25%. They've lowered their guidance. The TSX, incidentally, comes in on a 6-day winning streak, kind of a hesitant start, we'll call it, right now, Ted, because tomorrow we get the Canadian and, perhaps more importantly for the U.S. interest rate policy, U.S. unemployment statistics. So today just might be the waiting game ahead of the Friday data announcements. Back to you.
All right, good stuff. Thank you, Mike. That's our business editor, Mike Eppel, reporting this morning. You can hear Mike on 660 News at 26 and 56 after the hour.
BT's Market Report is brought to you by 660 News.